Hey, this is Jersey. You're listening to the Garden State.
You're listening to The Garden State, the only New Jersey podcast that gives you all the news you need to hear this week. My name is Josh Sobo.
My name is Josh Chomik.
And back like always,
Jimmy Parks.
Welcome back, everybody.
What's up, guys?
How's it going?
Oh, it's good to be back. It's good to be recording another podcast.
I've given up on winter, boys.
Yeah, I was going to say.
We're not getting any snow.
I left work today. I was standing in the parking lot, and I looked up at the sky, and I just felt we are in the most soulless period of New Jersey. As far as like the seasons go, it's just soulless. Like it's gray all day, and then it gets dark at like 5 o'clock.
Without snow on the ground, it just kills the vibes completely.
Yeah, now until like end of March kind of sucks.
Unless we get a snowstorm.
Yeah.
But guys, it's going to be like 50 degrees next week with some rain.
I was looking at the National Weather Service. They came out with these models, and it looks like it's going to be above average temperature all the way through the end of January.
Wow.
Not
Well,
good.
It's not good, guys. It's not looking good.
I'm not complaining this year. I wouldn't mind if we get an early spring, start seeing those buds on the tree branches.
When's Groundhog's Day? Remind me.
February?
Well, he usually tells you if there's going to be 6 more weeks of winter or 8 more weeks.
Or if spring's coming early.
I think it is February.
It is February 2nd, which that's really early, I feel.
Didn't he pass?
Is it Tony Phil?
Yeah, didn't he like pass away recently, like a few years ago?
I think they die every couple of years and they replace them.
Oh, so it's not the same guy?
Yeah.
It's like a really old...
If we had a Pennsylvania podcast, we'd have to go to that.
yeah, because it's in PA, right?
We'd have, it takes place about like 30 minutes from Pittsburgh, I think, or maybe an
Oh,
hour
that's
from
far. I was going to
Pittsburgh.
say, let's drive. Like, that'd be so fun.
In the wild, groundhogs can live up to 6 years,
That's
Huh.
young.
with the average being 2 to 3.
They're
So
babies.
we've gone, but they always. Why don't they change the name of him? Why is it always that Phil? Whatever his name is.
Tradition. They don't change
But
the name of the Easter Bunny.
It's a different groundhog.
I don't know. Maybe it's all in the same family.
How do you even Punxsutawney?
I don't know. We're not
So,
Pennsylvania.
Punxsutawney Phil is the name given to a groundhog residing in Young Township near Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, who is a central figure in Punxsutawney's annual Groundhog Day celebration. So it's just a name that they give
it's
to
the name
whoever
out of
the
the
guy
town.
is.
Interesting.
The groundhogs are kind of cute, man. Like they're like weird little creatures.
You got to feel bad for them. Like they're like, why are these guys just picking me up in front of all these people and like bothering me? And look how upset that groundhog.
The guy with a top hat holds him up like Simba. It's kind of interesting how these traditions arrive. Have you guys ever seen the movie Groundhog Day?
It's
I have
amazing.
not.
Oh, Jimmy, you would love it because it's a lot to do with weather and stuff.
Yeah, it does have a lot. You're right. It does have a lot to
That's
do.
why I really enjoyed it.
Because he gets stuck there, right, with the snow?
Yeah, it's so special.
Interesting. Okay. Well, hey, guys, before we get talking about, we have something really, really exciting to talk about this week. A major Garden State announcement.
Let's just start with that.
Okay, because I was going to say if we were in PA, the PA podcast, we'd have to go to that. But since we're not, we have to find a local Jersey tradition that we can rep this year, and we want you guys to be a part of it. And can I just say it?
I would just launch it right now.
This
Josh.
year, we will be attending the Seaside Heights Polar Bear Plunge. Let's go.
Guys, this is huge. This is awesome.
It's crazy.
February 25th, 2023. Mark it on your calendar. Guys, this is going to be epic.
Huge.
The Polar Bear Plunge is an annual tradition where people go to the beach and run into the freezing cold ocean in February. And all the proceeds go to the Special Olympics. So this is a cool cause to get behind. It's a fun, weird New Jersey thing. Do polar bear plunges happen everywhere, or is this a Jersey thing?
I'm not quite sure. I know there's multiple polar bear plunges, though, for different organizations and different causes. So this is the Special Olympics New Jersey is this one. I know there's other ones, but this is the one we're going to be participating in.
So polar bear swim clubs have been around in the United States for more than a century. The oldest documented New Year's Day polar bear plunge event took place in 1904 when the L Street Brownies, a swim club founded in 1902 in South Boston, Massachusetts, took their first icy cold plunge into Dorchester Bay. Now that's not really an answer to the question because the polar bear plunge is a specific charity sort of event. But nonetheless, you guys can join us for the Polar Bear Plunge. It's for a great cause. It's going to be ridiculous. We're going to dive into the Atlantic Ocean on a freezing cold day. Josh, how can they find our actual team page?
I got you, Josh. So first off, our team name is the Garden State Plungers.
It's amazing.
We may or may not be diving into the ocean with some plungers in our hands. I don't know.
I heard that was a rumor.
We're not sure. But anyway, guys, yes, for the Special Olympics New
I heard
Jersey,
the plungers were going to be on our heads.
we could do that. If you want to come through, check it out, say what up to us. It's free. Come and laugh at us while we hurt ourselves in the ocean. But if you want to join our team and plunge with us, it's $110 to plunge.
Yeah.
And you could do that by going to the link in our bio here on the podcast or on YouTube or on Instagram. Once you click on the link, click on a join team, and then you just follow the process to sign up. It's $110 to plunge, and all that money, 100% of the proceeds go to Special Olympics and to our fundraising goal of $5,000.
Awesome. And I think our next goal should be to attend the Special Olympics because that also sounds awesome.
Oh, 100%.
Yes.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool. Has it ever come to New Jersey? Like, I never have heard of it. I feel like it's always in like Florida.
No, this is Special Olympics New Jersey.
Wait, really?
The organization is Special Olympics New Jersey, so it's specifically us.
Okay, so see, I'm a little bit ignorant here because I thought the Special Olympics was like a national organization. Either way, it's a great cause, and we're gonna be hanging out there. So if you want to come hang out with us, say what's up.
February 25th, Seaside Heights.
Yeah.
And if you can't come or you don't want to plunge, but you still want to support, you can click the link in our bio and just donate to the Special Olympics New Jersey.
Yep.
And if we raise our $5,000 goal,
Yep.
Jimmy did say he would plunge in a Speedo.
I did not say
I'm
that.
so
I
excited
did
because
not say-
that goal will be easily obtained, I think.
It's going to be kind of crazy, Jimmy. I can't believe you agreed to that.
Yeah, I did not agree.
So there is
with
a
that.
caveat for me with all this. My wife if she were to go into labor 2 weeks early, which is
Josh is like
it's
praying for
possible.
that.
within the window of it being reasonable,
Yeah.
2 weeks early is kind of reasonable, then I'm not going to be there with the boys. But I don't see that happening.
You know
I
what's-
think first baby they
I
say
think the
comes
baby's
late.
going to come right on time. Like you're
Good.
going to be set. You could plunge into the ocean with us.
Awesome.
You know what's great about that though, Josh?
What?
You have like 4 brothers who look similar enough to you
Oh,
where we could get a
Substitutes.
stand-in.
Substitutes.
we can get
You're
a stand in.
set. Oh my
get a
God.
stand in. That's a great idea. Well, with that, shall we open up the mailbag? Shall we crack it open and see what we can find this week? Hey, you've reached the Garden State Podcast. Sorry we can't get to the phone right now. We're currently diving into the Atlantic Ocean in Speedos.
Josh, February 25th. What are you talking about?
Oh, my bad. Hey, leave us a message and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Bye.
Hey, the Garden State. My name is Bruno from Newark. Well, technically from Newark. I just finished moving out to Nashville, Tennessee. I was going to say, the best bagel spot in New Jersey, by far, Chatham's Bagels. Everyone I get it for loves it. Brought some down with me here to Nashville. All my coworkers love it. It's a little shop. A lot of Hispanics working there. It's great. It's right off Main Street. But, yeah, I honestly think it's the best bagel shop. They make their own butter and cream cheese.
Wow.
And they have a whole bunch of different flavors of the bagels and the cream cheese. So, yeah. Oh, love the podcast. Bye.
Can we talk about how
Hey, thanks, Bruno.
can we talk about how he brought his coworkers like day old bagels?
I was going to say the same thing. I'm like,
You can't have a bagel the next day. It's just
just-
not the same.
you just know that you just know that his coworkers are like, who is this guy? Hey, thanks, Bruno. We really wanted a Jersey. Nah, I'm kidding. What's really funny to me? He said Chatham Bagels, right?
Yeah.
Literally. Okay, this is kind of gonna be weird. Okay, so today I was driving in Chatham very early in the
way.
morning with my wife, and this dude got out of his car and sprinted across the street into Chatham Bagels. And this thing I do when I'm driving with my wife is sometimes I'll add a voice to the character of the person that's doing something ridiculous. So I was basically impersonating a guy running into Chatham Bagels just this morning with no idea that this guy called into the mailbag.
That's crazy.
And that's and then I was like, oh, I've never been there. We should go check it out sometime. And it was just funny because the dude, the traffic on whatever road that is that goes through Chatham at that time of day is so bad. And this man was hungry for a bagel.
Maybe
He was-
that was your sign.
maybe it was
seeing
Bruno. Could that have been
maybe-
Bruno?
Yes, maybe he came home from Nashville. And also, Bruno, why are you moving to Nashville? Did he say he was going to school, or like why are you leaving New Jersey?
I'd go to Nashville. It sounds kind of nice
Yeah,
right
it
about
actually
now.
does sound pretty nice.
Lower taxes. Here's what I will say though. I have this thing with bagels. If a Jersey bagel's great, right? But it's best served within a 1 to 3 hour period of it being
Yep.
made. And then there's like the 3 to 12 hour period where it's fine. You could eat it. And then like a 12 to 24, it's kind of hard. And then let me ask you guys this as well. Do you guys we all have parents from a similar generation. They're pretty close in age. Do your parents freeze bagels?
Yes.
That's the
No.
My mom does.
Yeah, my parents freeze bagels. I'm like, what is with you freezing a bagel?
Well, yeah, you could buy like a dozen and you freeze it, but if you freeze it, it doesn't become stale like when you leave a bag out.
I know. My family does that too. I feel like I think Shelb's family does it too. It must be something from their generation where they like freezing bagels.
Well, think about it. If you get like 12 bagels and you're not going to eat them all within the same day, so how are you going to preserve it? You got to freeze it.
I would just buy like 1 or 2 bagels.
Yeah,
Because the
too.
point of a bagel is it's fresh. It's warm. It cracks. It's like it cracks on the outside, but it's soft in the middle.
Yeah.
I love a fresh New
I
Jersey
had
bagel.
a fresh one
Oh,
from
man.
Cranford's Best this morning, bro.
Best.
It just came out of the oven. It was so nice. But Jesse brought home like a dozen bagels last week.
Yeah.
And like I had one the next morning, so it was already starting to get a little like clunky.
That's that 12 to 24 period.
Bro, he left it in the kitchen for a week. After like 3 days, they were rock solid, and he didn't freeze them. He just left them on the counter. Rock solid after like 3 days. So yeah, you can't just preserve bagels if you're not freezing them.
And like no judgment to my mom or your mom because your mom listens to our podcast, she's gonna think I'm judging her. Hi, Mom. If they do freeze a bagel, there's nothing wrong with that. I just find it so interesting that they like to do that. Do you freeze bagels?
Yeah, dude. Like I would buy
do?
it.
They pass it down
I don't do it.
generation
I don't do it currently. I've done it before.
I'm saying, would you? I get it if like you're at a party and people are like, hey, we have 12 bagels left over. Anybody want them?
Yeah.
You take them. You're like, no way I eat 12 bagels in a day. You freeze them. But I'm saying, would you go out and buy bagels to freeze them?
Yeah, because it's easier than going to the bagel shop. Well, number one, it's easier than going to the bagel shop every single day. Like you always have bagels in your house. Also, if you buy by the bulk, it's cheaper, the price. So you're not paying like the price of a single
fair.
bagel. So you're saving some money.
That's a good point.
I have roommates, so like if I buy bagels, they can have some. Which this reminds me, I gotta start doing this more often because I've been going to buy singular bagels recently. So.
That's a
Great
fair
idea.
It's a fair point. I think it's just a generational gap, and maybe I should start being more frugal. And
It works.
the thing for
Josh.
me with a bagel is if I'm having one, I don't get them a lot. If I'm having one, it's going to be a Saturday morning. I'm going to my favorite spot, and I'm getting it, a fresh everything, and it's going to have either Taylor ham, egg, and cheese on it, or it's going to have some cream cheese. And that thing's going to crack when I bite into it.
Plain cream cheese or like scallion cream cheese?
I can't do I mean, I can do it, but it's not.
I haven't gotten that wave yet. It's weird to me.
It's weird when you ask them, hey, could I get a little bit of cream cheese? And it's like an entire Philadelphia block of cream cheese on your bagel.
Oh, no, please. Most of the time, they don't give me enough.
Really?
Like, I wish they gave me the whole chunk.
Maybe I'm the only one. Well, actually, hold on. I just looked up Chatham Bagels. This is the photo of their bagel on Yelp. That thing does not
that looks like a Dunkin' Donuts bagel, brother.
does not look as the Gen Z would say bussin'. That's not a great bagel, but I'm gonna stop by tomorrow.
Yeah, we can't
probably.
judge it by the photo, but have you guys ever eaten Dunkin' Donuts bagels? Like back in the day?
Trash.
No, back in the years ago, like maybe 10 years ago.
Nope. I don't think so.
Guys, Dunkin', I had a bagel from Dunkin' this past week. It was awful. It was so small. Didn't taste good.
It's like a sponge.
Dunkin' used to have banging bagels like 10 years ago. They used to be big.
Yeah, I remember they definitely were. Okay, so
They used to have a whole rack of bagels. Now like the bagels are hidden in like one little tiny shelf. They really like strayed away from the bagel game.
Do you think it was after they changed it to Dunkin'? Just Dunkin'?
It could have been. I don't know when it changed, but I recently noticed this and dude, it's not good at all.
I used to get the little Thomas bagels, is it, from the shop, right?
Yep.
And
That's what they look like.
It's like a sponge when you bite into it.
That's
It's like
exactly what Dunkin' is now.
no crisp on the outside, all squish. So, yeah, we'll have to. I'm gonna probably go tomorrow to Chatham Bagel, and I'll report back. Thank you, Bruno, for the little tidbit. And if you guys want to call into the mailbag, we've switched to a phone number now. You don't have to email us a voice memo. You can call 908.
It was a cool idea. It was a cool idea, Josh.
It was.
And you still can email us if you really want to.
yeah.
You can call into 908 67 99 99 3. Could I make that any more confusing?
I'm trying. Did you say that right? Is there that many nines?
It's 908 679 9993. But I said it 908 67 99 99 3.
We gotta make a jingle.
It screws up the chunking
Ready,
that you
Chumwick?
have in your head.
Let's sing that jingle we wrote earlier.
Yeah.
908 679 99. Wait, no, it's
8. I can't see it.
908 67 99 99
3.
Great. Well, you guys can call in the mailbag and leave us a voicemail, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can, like the voicemail says. With that, that's my favorite saying. I should put that on a t-shirt. With that.
That is your favorite. Like, I cut the podcast, so like I catch all the little things. It's like Josh's favorite thing. We'll be talking about something with that.
I like to call it's a verbal comma for me, or a verbal period.
With that.
It's you know why I do that? Because I have, when you listen to yourself speak long enough, most people, it's easy to criticize a podcast because you never record your voice, right? We've done this for like 100 hours now.
Episode 48. 49.
And
49.
when you do it long enough, you start to be able to recognize your little weird idiosyncrasies and the things that you say that don't make a lot of sense.
Yep.
And I used to say, apparently, which I still like that word.
I never minded that. Like, I
And
don't
someone
know.
called me out. One of our friends called me out on it, and I was like, "Shoot, he's right."
Danny?
Yeah, he said he said, because I was already insecure about it. I was like, "Man, I said that a lot." In one clip you posted, I said it 3 times in a 60-second clip, and I was like, "Shoot, I got to work on the way I speak." And so he called me out on it in a comment. I was like, "Shoot, I thought I was the only one that noticed it." So then I tried to pivot, and now the new one is, with that. Let's move on to and I'm working on it. All right, so
At least you could speak. I'm over here stuttering. Like, you have a good speaking voice, so like, who cares what
brother.
people say?
So with that,
Shut up, Jimmy.
I think you have. He just ruined our moment here. Hey, by the way, I think you have a great speaking voice, man.
Thank you very much.
All right. Before we get into the news, we want to let you know you can get some Garden State merch at thegardenstate.com. We pride ourselves in making custom New Jersey swag, stuff we all get. And
It's true.
You're going to want to go get yourself a hat, a hoodie, a t-shirt. We got more stuff coming for the spring and the summer. Stuff you're going to want to wear when you're at your
Gonna want to wear
4th of July barbecue down at Island Beach State Park with the gang.
Yes.
Or when you're at your parents' house in LBI. If they got one, invite us. I'd love to come.
We'll
or when
crash.
you're out on your rich dad's boat off the coast of Cape May.
Must
Any
be
of those
nice.
options, or if maybe you have a house in Avalon and you want to invite us, we'd love to come.
I would love that.
Avalon is beautiful. All right, with that, make sure you go to thegardenstate.com and I just said it, and get yourself some swag today.
With that, Josh, what's up next?
Let's get into the news. Oh boy, we got a few stories that hit close to home to start off here. This first one was sent to me by my dad. He was like, "Did you hear about this?" And I'm like, "Dad, I do the news. I've heard about all of it." But I was appreciative, so thank you, Dad. In Westfield, New Jersey, an art teacher overdosed in front of his classroom this week.
On fentanyl, right? I
Yeah.
think.
Yes.
Yeah. It's insane. I don't even know where to start with this one.
Yo, someone DM'd us this story, guys, and they said, "Yeah, I had this guy 10 years ago. We always thought he was on drugs," which is crazy.
Yeah. Can you imagine being a parent of a kid in high school seeing their teacher overdose? I feel like
if you're
there
in that
has
class.
to be a major lawsuit as a result of this.
definitely.
Bro, that's scarring for those kids.
I'd freak
Oh
out.
my gosh, that's so scary.
He didn't die. So here's what the article says. In Westfield, New Jersey, an art teacher at a suburban New Jersey school is facing felony charges after a shocking overdose in a classroom of students. The Westfield Police Department said it happened at Roosevelt Intermediate School. 57-year-old Frank Thompson was found unconscious and unresponsive on the floor of his second-floor classroom just after 9 a.m. on November 29th, 2022. A school nurse was actively treating him in front of students when the police arrived. An officer used Narcan on the teacher, who started slowly showing signs of improvement. So
Narcan saves lives.
it seems like it really saves a lot of lives.
Stuff is crazy. It's so cool.
So police say they found fentanyl and drug paraphernalia in the closet of the classroom, which is just excellent, right?
Not good.
So while the incident took place in November, Thompson was not charged until Thursday, January 5th, 2023. So this is a bit of dated news, but it's just now arriving into the news cycle. Thompson faces drug and endangering the welfare of children charges. He is scheduled to present himself to be processed on February 1st, 2023. There's a quote that says, "While the Westfield Public School District cannot comment on personal matters which are confidential, we will maintain a continued focus on student and staff safety and on preserving the integrity of the classroom learning environment." That was the superintendent, Raymond Gonzalez. He says, "We are grateful for our strong partnership with the Westfield Police Department."
I just hope that they're able to get this guy some help first
Yeah,
and foremost.
super sad.
Yeah, I was going to
really
say,
sad.
it is. Well, first off, we have to start. I think there's a pyramid of like, if you're going to rank the victims here, the kids, first of all, I'd hope that nobody was scarred by this, not to be dramatic, but I'd imagine it would be pretty freaky to witness someone overdose.
I
in a
can't even
classroom.
imagine.
In
These are middle schoolers or high schoolers?
High schoolers.
schoolers.
Okay.
But it's a place where you have to think high school is a place where your parents are dropping you off or you're driving there, and the town, the public is trusting their kids
Yeah.
are going to be safe. They're going to be learning stuff there, and
Yeah.
it's not going to be a place where you're going to have to witness someone overdose, which is kind of weird. I feel like our culture is just collapsing right now. But at the same time, I agree. I think this guy, it's pretty tragic that he's clearly has an addiction problem, and he's going to probably do jail time, and hopefully through this he can recover from being an addict.
I wonder what happened in the minutes leading up to this. Like, how long into class was this? Like, was he attempting to teach? Like, what was going on?
I feel like this was obviously if you're overdosing on fentanyl, like in class, like this was a normal thing. Like maybe he just took a little bit more than he usually does.
Oh, I'm
so
sure.
like, I don't know. I don't know really. Number one, the effects of fentanyl. Like, I don't know like how quickly that affects your body. I'm not going to speak on it because I don't know too much, but it's just like, first of all, fentanyl, dude, that stuff is like, that's killer right there.
Okay, so I actually found Westfield High School's bell schedule, and their first period is from 8:10 to 9:38. So it was at 9 a.m. So he was in first period when this happened. So it must have been maybe he used the drugs right before the school day started,
Probably.
and then
That's so just heartbreaking.
it's messed up all
Why
around.
do you got to be on drugs like going into your workday? You have to have a serious issue if it's really come down to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think there's clearly a major issue. I wonder, though, what comes of this. I do wonder if the parents of the kids form some sort of a lawsuit against the district. I feel like there
Has to
be some grounds there. Like what? I don't know what you.
endangering of a child.
Well, I don't know if it'd be that or like how you can kind of sue for trauma, like mental.
Yep.
Well, also, when you're high on fentanyl, you don't know like how a person's going to act. Like the guy could have just went out and just went crazy over the kids.
Yeah, that's the other thing is what if he did snap and like injured a kid? I mean, you're putting I don't know.
This is him.
Wow.
I grew up right next to Westfield, so like I'm always like I wonder do you guys know anyone that went to Westfield High that would know this guy?
Do not.
Yeah, I know a few people actually, but here's what I was going to say is I thought 2022 was the year of Westfield. I think 2023 might be the continuation.
Westfield, dude, there's a lot of news coming out of that town right now, and it's absolutely insane.
Well, last year we had the most popular Netflix show, The Watcher.
Yep.
All about Westfield. And then now there's a show called Wednesday on Wednesday Addams.
Yep.
And the Addams family is all based around Westfield.
Do they mention it in the show?
I haven't watched. I couldn't tell you.
They have a New Jersey license plate on their car.
I did see that.
Do you guys know if they actually filmed that in Westfield by any chance?
No, they did not.
Okay.
So you had that, and now we're turning over the leaf into the new year, and the news has gotten darker with this teacher, and it gets even worse.
Dun, dun, dun.
Should I read the next story?
Yeah.
Our next story also involves Westfield. A man from Westfield, New Jersey was arrested in Oregon this past weekend after mistaking a man for a robot and biting off his ear while high on fentanyl.
If I saw a robot, I'd be scared too. But then you mentioned the fentanyl part, and I was like, okay, this is insane.
I'm wondering if Westfield man is the new Florida man for the state of New Jersey. That wouldn't make sense knowing Westfield, but the stories that are coming out of Westfield
There's a
have
lot of
just been
fentanyl
insane.
stories coming out of Westfield recently, bro. Fentanyl is just taking everyone.
Well, it's definitely spreading quickly.
It's not good.
So a 25-year-old New Jersey native and former soccer star, apparently high on fentanyl, was arrested in Oregon after authorities said he bit and chewed off the ear of a 78-year-old man because he thought he was a robot trying to kill him. Wow.
Insane.
Corin Daniel Kramer of Westfield is facing second-degree assault charges for the 2 a.m. incident on January 3rd on the Cleveland TriMet Max platform area off Northeast 8th Street in Gresham. Not that information is relevant to our listeners, but
What a name. Where was
sounded
that?
So Kramer allegedly approached the man at the platform and physically attacked him, biting and chewing off his ear and some skin near his ear and face, Schmidt said. Kramer told detectives he believed the victim was a robot trying to kill him based on how he smelled, the DA said. Kramer spit out the flesh he had consumed and added that responder saved his life after separating him from the robot.
That's
so
great.
He was high, and thought the 78-year-old man was a robot. And
Fentanyl.
it's crazy. Don't do drugs. Don't touch the stuff.
You guys ever thought like someone was a robot trying to kill you or no?
Nope.
Oh, isn't that a SpongeBob episode?
I can't confirm.
Said he admitted to consuming alcohol, cannabis, and fentanyl pills.
What do you guys think this does for the town of Westfield? You think like they're talking about it?
It's, you know what it's going to do? It's going to give a lot of tea for the Westfield mom pages on Facebook to talk about.
Oh.
I think that's the main impact it'll have. What do you think, Jimmy?
Yeah, Westfield Moms is going to go crazy.
Well, hey, it happened in Oregon. It didn't happen in Westfield. So that's
Still.
a great sign. You know, he didn't do it here in New Jersey. I don't know what he's doing in Oregon, but hopefully he'll stay there.
That's what all the Westfield moms are going to be like. Oh, Oregon
No,
really changed them.
First the teacher, now the ear biting. The robots are after us.
It hasn't been a good... If you think about it from that perspective, none of the four things we mentioned are really good reasons for Westfield to be in the news. Like, the first is the Watcher House. The second is the Addams family, which is kind of creepy. It's not really like a heartwarming type of thing. And now we have two... Well, Jimmy, were you going to disagree with that?
I think the
It's a
Addams
fictional
family
story.
was like
I
the
guess
first
that
like,
is a good
dark
sign.
comedy.
Yeah, that's true. I that was a little dramatic on my part. It was kind of a very famous sitcom.
Yeah.
Would it be a sitcom?
I'd call it a sitcom.
Okay. Well, it's a sitcom. So we'll have to see what happens with this guy. It's kind of a shame. He's 25 years old. Hopefully he gets his life together, and hopefully the 78-year-old man didn't have too much damage done to him, and that was able to be, repaired in the emergency
His
room.
ear was like legit ripped off.
That's what it said. That's what the article said. But, I've realized a lot of these journalists write just to draw eyeballs.
Well, it said the kid spit the flesh out.
So there was skin ripped off because your ear's connected to your face, right? And I guess he bit the ear and ripped part of the skin off, and it ripped off part of his face as well. Excuse me.
What was the Mike Tyson incident like?
Yeah, he bit Evander Holyfield. Evander Holyfield? Did I say that right?
Yeah, I think so.
He bit his ear off. In a
Like
fight.
to what extent?
I'll show you the picture. I think it was not as bad.
Oh, so it was like a little chunk
he
off.
had a nice
yeah.
little snip out
That's
of his ear.
wild, dude.
Mike Tyson was a bad dude. Still is. All right. Well, with that,
You do it every story.
let's move on to our next story. My numbers are all mixed up for my story.
4 or 5.
Oh, no.
because
That's
your notes at the beginning.
Yeah. All right. New Jersey and Ohio are officially joining other states in banning TikTok from state devices.
They don't trust China? Or what's going on?
Listen, this podcast has seen some major TikTok success, and I am not going to lie, TikTok is not on my phone. I'm super skeptical of China with TikTok, and I feel like I'm going to be justified in this.
So you're in support of the state doing this?
I think if you're a state employee, yeah, I think I mean, I know that's a wide net because you have some people that are shaping policy, and then some people that are DPW workers, and they might be going around clearing the side of the Garden State Parkway, cutting the grass. But I think overall, it's in our best interest for our legislators to not have their voice listened in on by China.
Do you think like people are listening in on other apps though too? Not just TikTok alone? Don't you feel at this point like nothing is safe?
You're right. I think that the issue though is that China is a foreign nation and they don't seem to have the best interest of us in mind, I would say. Versus like if Apple does it, which Apple seems to be better with a lot of this stuff. If Apple does it, it's usually just because they want to figure out how to advertise better to you, which is still kind of scummy. But if China's doing it and they're doing it to state employees, it might be because they want to understand, what we're up to over here.
It
I don't
doesn't
know.
make sense because if you read into like TikTok's algorithm and how crazy it is, like the amount of things they're listening to every little thing you say. And like that's why TikTok is amazing. That's why our videos go out to everyone in New Jersey because they know exactly where you are, and that's what's terrifying about TikTok.
TikTok knows you better than you know yourself. People, this is the thing that
Straight
blows
up, yeah.
Like you go on TikTok, the algorithm just if it studies you for 10 hours of you using the app, maybe not even that much, maybe like 2 hours of using the app, it's gonna know everything about you.
Yeah.
I think every like you're just giving it another little piece of data about who you are. And I mean, that doesn't bother me. Like, to be honest, I don't really care if China knows that I like woodworking and, snowplow videos. Like my TikTok feed.
Dude, I was going to say last winter, all my whole For You page was just snowplow.
Yeah, me too,
videos.
dude. I'm such a dad because I was like, all my videos were like, hey, here's how you can fix this squeaky door. I'm like, oh, that's a cool hack. I mean, that's a nice DIY.
They gotcha.
Or some guy going, I'm going to build a
Gotcha.
cabin in my backyard. Or like, it was all that kind of stuff. But it knew me pretty well, but it got creepier when I found out about the microphone thing, which I'm not someone to speak on this, but I heard that TikTok basically is always listening to you.
Even when you don't have the app open?
Yes, I heard that.
Can you give it permission not to, or like in the accessibility on your phone, or no? That's just like always listening.
Is that not weird to you when the iPhone says, would you like to ask this app
To use your microphone?
Yeah, no. When it says like there's like a new warning on the iPhone that comes up. It says basically it's like, would you like to ask this app not to collect data? That's a weird way of saying it, but it's something like that. You don't know that when you download an app?
It depends on the app.
Let me see
I
if I
think
can
I've
find it. Hold
seen
on.
that before. Jimmy, do you know?
Yeah, I feel like I've seen that come up before. I always say no to all this.
No, I always if there's a message like that, I say no. I'm like, I don't want you to collect my data. Get out of here.
It says here it is. It says allow my app or allow whatever app to track your activity across other companies' apps and websites.
Yeah, like absolutely not.
Why?
yeah. So it's basically
And then-
asking to track like what you're searching for on Google.
So the weird thing is, the way you answer is you either click allow or you click ask app not to track. Why do I have to ask an app anything?
Yeah, you got just give me the no option.
Why is it just no?
Because
Right?
they got you. Because Apple's got you, bro.
That button when it pops up always makes me think. Like whenever I see it, I go, Are they gonna say yes? Because I'm asking them not to track. Or are they gonna go, we'll think about it? Like, I don't know. So let me read actually this article since we went on a tangent. But this is out of Washington. Dun, dun, dun. New Jersey and Ohio said on Monday they were joining other states in banning the use of the popular video app TikTok on government-owned and managed devices. New Jersey governor, pause. If you have a state-issued phone, why would you be browsing social media on it? That's why you have your personal phone, right?
Well, look at the state parks. They have like an Instagram. Like
They
have like TikTok.
Yeah, but that's like an exception to the exception.
How is that an exception? It's state. They're banned.
Yeah, but how many people for the state of New Jersey run an Instagram page? It's got to be
I
like...
think more than you think.
Yeah, it's they have like so many little organizations. They like have Instagrams for like TikToks for everything.
Yeah, but you just brought Instagram into it. That's fine, but why TikTok?
I
usually
think
if you
there's
have-
very few TikTok
Well,
accounts.
I'm just thinking now, like for us, like if you're on Instagram, you're on TikTok. If you're making reels, so that's how I see it.
yeah, I wonder if the NJ.gov TikTok is still live.
Was their TikTok like booming?
I don't know. I didn't follow them, but they definitely have an account.
Yeah, they're probably like done now. What is it called?
It's just NJ.gov, just like everything else.
I
they
remember
are.
seeing that pop up. Yeah, they're verified and everything on TikTok.
Did I share
It's still up.
Did I share my Vine prediction?
They posted one day ago. When did the?
Yesterday. This just happened last night.
Okay, so they posted this yesterday, so they're definitely done. Probably.
Wow.
That's wild.
Did I share with you guys my Vine prediction?
No, I don't think
Not
so.
on the podcast.
I think TikTok is gonna eventually be phased out of American life. I think there's a few things that are gonna happen. We're gonna first see there's gonna be data on how terrible it is for kids,
Yeah.
and it's gonna freak parents out. I think there's gonna be in the next year or two really clear and concise data saying like it's destroying 12-year-olds' brains, which we all know it is.
So you think they'll actually ban it? From allowing anyone to download it?
I think we're one major conflict with China away from the government going, hey, is it a good idea that they have all of our information? Probably not.
Didn't Trump almost get rid of TikTok for us?
I
Remember there was like
yeah,
that
I
period,
remember this.
like someone almost got rid of TikTok and
Let me
everyone
look it
was
up.
like freaking out about like TikTok
Yep.
disappearing and it never actually happened.
So
Yeah.
yes, what happened with that was Trump tried to ban TikTok, but then what happened was the data collection company, they like settled, I believe, on an American company collecting the data. So it was like a thing where rather than your information they're collecting going directly to China, it would go through an American company, then to China. But I think the way it actually worked was it went to China, then to the American company. I heard that, something like that recently.
Interesting.
So it's not like it was supposed to be a solution, but it wasn't really a solution. It was more of a loophole, I think. But I think, I don't know. I think you're going to see a wave of people going, hey, TikTok. And you know what the thing is? We could so easily replicate TikTok, which goes to my theory about Vine, which is why I think, okay, this is my whole theory. I think Elon Musk is going to make way more money back on the Twitter purchase because right now he's losing money. It's like hemorrhaging. Because I think the federal government is going to open a window for him to make a competitor to TikTok when they begin harshly penalizing TikTok use in American life. And what's going to happen is I think Elon's going to just make a ghost app. I mean, like a carbon copy app, which is going to be very similar to TikTok. It's going to be called Vine because we all know Vine, and then everyone's going to migrate.
Vine 3.0 because 2.0 failed.
What do you think? Could you see that happening or no?
No. TikTok is, guys, TikTok's a monster. Do you realize how much bigger it is than every other app?
Yeah, but I'm saying our legislators are not allowed to have it on their phone right now.
Yeah.
They could very easily go, hey, we are going to ban TikTok.
So you're saying that to happen if they ban it for all
yeah,
Americans.
if that happens, it's going to make a vacuum for somebody else to make an app. And who better than the guy that owns the app that used to own Vine?
Well, do you think that's why Instagram Reels, they're trying to push Reels so hard? YouTube Shorts, they're trying to push it so hard now because they're all trying to compete with TikTok. So if TikTok's gone, everyone's going to Shorts and Reels.
Yeah, but Reels are terrible. And this goes back to the algorithm.
It's gotten better.
The TikTok algorithm is so much the content. If I go on Instagram right now and go on my Reels, none of it's relevant to me. It's like the weirdest videos. It's all like dog videos. And I like dogs.
It doesn't really help. Like it's not like TikTok where it gives you everything you want.
TikTok, the videos they feed me are like they are in my house with me on my phone, but like it's like they looked at my bookshelf and were like, okay, we know exactly who this guy is. I don't know. I don't know if it's actually going to be, made illegal, but I could definitely see something happening with it. I just feel like we're going to see how bad it is for us. We think it could never be banned because we're living in a time where that's never happened with like a social media.
Yeah.
But the world is changing. I mean, we have conflict with Russia and Ukraine. Like there's the world is just shifting right now, I feel like. And I could see something happening.
Something bad's going to happen.
I hope not, but
I hope not either, but like you just see everything's going downhill right now. You never know.
So I heard somebody say, and I don't know if this is true or not. So it might just be a useless thing. I'm like 90% sure this is true because I watched a video on it, which is
I watched the YouTube video.
A TikTok
it's true.
on it. No, but they were saying how in China TikTok operates with store hours. So like in the same way you want to go to a supermarket, it's open from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. Mm-hmm. TikTok has has hours that might be from 9 a.m. to like 8 p.m.
So after 8 p.m. you can't use
it? Yeah, after a reasonable time, it's not accessible to anybody. Or maybe specifically minors. And then the other thing is their algorithm in China feeds...
like math videos and stuff like that.
Yeah, they feed their citizens math videos and like engineering stuff, athletic videos, and then videos to make them more,
That's crazy.
Like, I guess, patriotic, to make them more to love the state more, which is kind of
interesting.
Yeah, but so their whole system right now is feeding their kids videos to make them like stronger citizens, and our app is feeding our kids videos to do dances. And also, do you guys see that? You heard about the kids that are dying from like the choking challenge thing, the blackout challenge?
Another challenge? I've never heard of that.
Yeah, I don't want to get into it, but yeah.
Wait! You can't just drop a bomb like that on us. What is that?
There's something called the blackout challenge, I believe, where kids would tie a belt around a doorknob and they would basically suffocate themselves until they black out and then wake up. Yeah. And then there was like a 6-year-old girl that killed herself. There was a few kids that.
When did this happen? I'm so out of the loop.
This is within the last few months, I believe.
Yeah,
First Tide Pods, now this. Gosh.
This was December 12th, 2022. So it was.
That's wild. I never heard of that.
A Milwaukee 9-year-old died.
That
awful.
Was the girl.
Awful.
Sheesh, dude. What's wrong with that's crazy.
Well, this is what happens when you give your kid a cell phone and let them do whatever they want on it. But that's another. I'm going to trigger some people at that point. But
the kid's running scared. He ain't got a plan. All ties back.
Santa Claus doesn't visit the funeral home, little fella. All right. Next story. A Roseland, New Jersey man shot at a home invader this past week, but he will not be charged.
See, I read this and I was like, oh man, like he's probably going to get charged, but they're letting him go. Like, so is that allowed in Jersey?
Well, yeah. So, I mean,
It's so tricky.
I'm not a lawyer, but the way home invasion works is I think you need to be able to prove a clear, that there was not a clear route of exit. So like, if
yeah, we talked about this. True.
Yeah. So for this guy though, he didn't, the guy didn't even get into his house. It says he was in his mud room and he only shot once and they're not sure if the bullet hit him or not. They don't think it did, but they haven't found the round in his backyard. So here's what the article says. A Roseland homeowner who fired at a burglar who broke into his home early Monday morning has not been charged with a crime. Mayor James Spango said that an intruder who was looking for a set of car keys got into the house on LaSalle Court and made it as far as the mudroom before the confrontation with the homeowner. The neighborhood is attractive to would-be car thieves as it is close to Route 280, officials say. You guys know that area, Roseland?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like right off 280. The intruder was met by the homeowner. The homeowner fired one round from a handgun. We believe that he missed the suspect, but we cannot confirm that because we have not found the round yet, Spango told reporters. The intruder scrambled out the window and left the property, according to the mayor. The homeowner's security video captured two suspects getting into the car and speeding off.
This is where it gets muddy because, like you said, Josh, like you're not allowed to shoot a home invader unless there's no other exit way out. Like how can he prove that there was no other way out?
I think that's where you get a really good lawyer, but I'm trying to find...
Like, is that in writing?
Yeah, there is a law. I'm going to try to find it right now. So NJ self-defense law. Here you go.
Can you type in like NJ self-defense law
Here you go.
TLDR?
So here's Kioro, which you know is just bulletproof, pun intended, information. I live in New Jersey. New Jersey is famously anti-self-defense. We have the opposite of the castle doctrine. So do you guys know what castle doctrine is?
Do not.
It's in Florida. It's basically you come on somebody's land, they could shoot you. And it's just like...
Oh, it's like, I'm going to protect the castle.
Yeah, I think that's kind of where the name came from.
Cool.
And it says... I mean, I don't know who this guy is. He's a lawyer on here, but I'm just going to read what he wrote. So it says, what the state government is essentially saying is that you have no legal right to self-defense in your home, and you have a duty to attempt to flee your own domicile before using deadly force. So it says, let's just say you fatally shoot an intruder. You would be treated as the criminal. You would be arrested, the weapon would be confiscated, and good luck getting it back, and you would be processed as if someone murdered you. As if you murdered someone. You would also have to your case taken to a grand jury. Make no mistake. I'm not going to keep. He just gets into some details that I don't think are relevant to the thing. But yeah, basically his point is New Jersey comes from the viewpoint that you have to immediately prove that there was no route of exit. So, which is kind of freaky because if someone breaks into your house and you have a gun and you're like, I'm going to shoot this person because I'm here with my family.
Yeah.
Who's thinking like...
You're not thinking, yeah.
Who's thinking like, can we get out a window right now? Like, I'm not going to think that. I'm going to go get out of my house.
If someone broke into your house, you have two exits in your house, right? Like, but like, are they going to be like, oh, Josh, you have two exits in your house. He could have easily went out that way. You're under arrest.
The other reason it doesn't really make sense is because it's hard to assess risk in a situation like that. You don't know if somebody has a knife on them.
Yep.
Especially at night, your house is dark. You see
bro. It's
your
freaky.
adrenaline starts pumping. You're like, who is this person? If you have kids, you're freaking out about your kids. You just want to, I don't know. I don't know what I don't know.
See,
I think
at least this guy legally owned his gun. So that's why.
Unlike the bus driver?
Unlike the bus driver, this guy legally owned his firearm, and that's why he's not being charged. And also, he didn't see if he ended up killing the guy. I feel like this story would have went a completely different direction, right?
Probably.
Thankfully, the gunshot scared the guy out, and he ran out. But still, like, that's why it's so tricky. Like, that's why it's if you own a gun in the state of New Jersey, like, are you going to feel comfortable shooting an intruder knowing that you might be the one going to jail?
Yeah, so the mayor said the homeowner's gun was legally owned, so he will not be charged. And then he's quoted saying, I believe the homeowner protecting himself and his family is the proper choice to make in this situation. So shout out to the mayor of Roseland. Sounds like a great place to live. He backed this guy up. Former Ocean County prosecutor Joseph D. Coronado said that based upon media coverage of the Roseland incident, the homeowner was within his rights to fire at the intruder and wouldn't be charged. I think that a prosecutor probably would make that decision that the person is standing their grounds. Your home is your castle. You have the right to defend it, especially if the gun is legal and it's in your house and there's an intruder in there. I think he has every right to exercise control. That was this gentleman, Joseph Coronado. So the moral of the story, and what's interesting is he used that word castle there, that comes from that Florida legislation, right? And I think the moral of the story is if you own a gun and you shoot somebody in your house, you immediately call 911 and you exercise your Fifth Amendment right and you keep your mouth shut. Is that the Fifth Amendment?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's your right to remain silent.
Jimmy,
No.
can you look that up?
Yeah, plead the fifth. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Fifth Amendment. You keep your mouth shut and you get a really good lawyer and then you pray they figure it out because the cops show up and they see a dead person in your house or somebody that's been shot. I mean, worst case scenario, we pray this never happens to anybody.
This guy
but
must
if
have been a bad shot if he completely missed the dude.
I don't know.
I'm just kidding. It was dark. I was just thinking.
He shot one round at the guy, but I think I think our world is trying to nerf consequences. They're trying to nerf everything. Like there's no consequences to anything.
What's the scene? I just thought of that line in Dumb and Dumber. Remember the ending scene where it's like a shootout in the hotel room, and like they're not touched with one bullet. He's like, the guy must have been a bad shot. You know what I'm talking
Yeah, I
about?
saw it.
What does he say?
I got it.
Oh
Hold
my
on.
gosh!
Harry, you're alive! And you're a horrible shot.
Classic.
We should watch that again soon. But I guess the moral of this story is the gentleman is alive, safe. And the man that tried to rob the house is apparently alive as well.
And going to jail?
No, he got away.
Oh, so he's out there.
He is out and about. So if you live in the Roseland area, lock your doors, get a Ring doorbell.
You think like he learned his lesson? Like, I'm not going to break into another house because these people are crazy.
I don't know. It said the intruder scrambled out the window and left the property, according to the mayor. The homeowner's home security video captured two suspects getting into a car and speeding off. So do you think a lesson will be learned here? Probably not.
Nope.
That'd be my guess.
Yeah. You hope there was a lesson learned, and if you own a gun, make sure it's legally owned.
Yes. All right. Next story. Advocacy groups are calling for an investigation into offshore wind energy after 6 beached whales have washed up in 33 days.
6 beached whales in 33 days is so crazy, dude.
Now, this is between New Jersey, New York. It's
Yeah.
the East Coast this is happening, but 6 whales washing
That's
up.
unheard of.
Yeah, and I think, there's some weird irony in this because in an effort to protect nature, we've created wind energy, which is like supposed to be, it's super harmless, I thought. And now we're killing whales with it?
Like they think it is. They think it is because there's
we don't
no.
wanna- yeah, we don't
Because a
wanna
lot of the
slander.
time you could see like the boat rudder like cutting up these fish, and that's how they find out they died and stuff. But these whales had nothing on them. They had no marks. That's why these people think it's due to the new
I don't know
the
about
offshore
that,
wind
though.
farms and all that.
What do you think, Jimbo?
I just don't see it feasible. Yeah, they're doing a bunch of testing out there for the offshore wind, and they might be like doing some drilling, but I can't picture that being enough where it's like all these whales are dying.
It is weird. Like, why are they being? They have the rest of the ocean to swim. Why are they keep getting beached because of it? It's weird.
It almost sounds like they're eating something that's poisoning them. But it says advocacy groups believe they know why Advocacy groups believe they now know why the New Jersey region has seen half a dozen beached whales over the span of 33 days. Offshore wind energy infrastructure. Dun, dun, dun. I don't believe it, but let's keep going.
Yeah, that's weird.
On Monday, 2 days after a 30-foot humpback washed ashore in Atlantic City, Ocean Advocacy Organization sent a letter to President Joe Biden demanding an immediate investigation into the recent whale deaths and calling for a pause on all ongoing wind energy activity offshore. Never have we ever heard of 6 whales washing up within 33 days, said Cindy Zipf, executive director of the Long Branch-based Clean Ocean Action. We don't know how many whales have died offshore. So they're trying to figure out what the cause is. They asked President Joe Biden to hop in. I don't see this ever
It's just
happening.
It's so strange though. Like, why now? In 33 days, there were 6 whales beached. What's chasing them onto the shore? Where are they eating? Who's poisoning these whales? It's weird.
Yeah, there's a lot of people talking about it, and I'm just looking right now at the other articles that are up. But it's definitely strange. It definitely should raise some concern. For me, as someone that enjoys the Cape May whale watcher, good people on that boat.
Dude, that's crazy.
I've never seen a whale. We usually just see dolphin, or porpoise.
You have a better chance of seeing a whale now on the shore than you do at the whale watchers.
This all makes sense now.
Yeah, what do you got there, Jimmy?
I'm looking here, and some scientists believe that sonar signals and other man-made loud underwater noises may contribute to beaching events. So I guess if they're drilling underwater for these not for the wind energy things.
Yeah, then that could be it.
Yeah, it's possible. It makes sense.
Just
It all
because
makes sense
they're
now.
not dying anywhere else but here, so that kind of makes sense.
And if they're doing that work offshore right now, that's nuts.
I don't know.
But why aren't the other fish dying? Why is it just the whales?
Because they don't use sonar.
Well, dolphins and porpoise do, but they may have gone south already for the
Or
winter.
they might have died and the whales ate them.
Maybe.
So, hey.
That sounds scientific, actually.
I have no idea, actually, if whales eat dolphins, but it was just the first thing that came to mind.
They eat like krill, like little fish, don't they?
Apparently, you can stop this from happening, though. The use of beacons, sonar reflectors, nets, noise-generating devices, including pingers, and distress calls and orca sounds and other creative solutions may help prevent whale strandings.
Wait, how do they use that, though?
You just put speakers underwater and play sounds, I guess.
Yeah, you think these companies want to do that?
If they want to do these
I wonder
farms.
I'm curious if they're actually going to look into this and make them do something like that. Because, like, how big are these wind farms supposed to be, Jimmy?
Pretty big.
Like, how long are they going to be drilling for?
A while.
Like, do you know how long?
I'm not sure how long.
Or, like,
but
is there a map? Like, they're
Yes.
showing
Yeah,
how
look,
big?
this is what they look like.
That's wild. How far offshore are those?
a few miles.
But this seems okay. This annoys me. I know this is like cleaner energy, but why? Like, look at the ocean. It's like we're taking the one part of the planet that is pretty clean looking when you just take a photo of it, and we're scattering these disgusting looking wind turbines across it. It just seems so ridiculous.
Yeah, but Josh, the ocean is so big, and like if you didn't know about this from this article, you wouldn't know it's out there because it's so big. So it's not
but
bothering anyone.
You could say the same thing about any other, climate catastrophe that's off in some corner of when you see rivers in India that are polluted. Like, that's not near me. I don't see it. Like, out of sight, out of mind. But isn't the point like it's still the part of the planet?
Yeah, 100%. I'm just saying, like, that really, if it's a small section like that, or like,
Yeah, that's true.
I
It's
want to
just
know
a
how many
small little
miles.
bit. That's a good
Compared to
point.
how big the ocean is, like, I think it's fine if we're able to take a small section like that out of the ocean for clean energy.
I imagine going on a boat at night through this. It's probably so creepy.
That would be so
tanker
cool. That would
is.
be so cool to see the lights.
That looks like an oil tanker though, right there.
Yeah,
Look how
those things
sh-
are massive.
I think they're like 1,000 feet tall.
Yeah, have you ever have you ever been in a wind turbine field, like next to
Yes.
thousands of them?
Yep.
They're huge.
Huge.
Like from far away, they look small. They're like, oh, that looks like a cool little pinwheel, but those things are massive, bro.
I heard they make them 1,000 feet tall now, which is nuts.
So wait, when are they going to be finished with this this wind farm? What do you call it? A wind farm?
Yeah,
I guess so.
farm.
Yeah, so for those listening, look up NJ Wind Farm Offshore on Google Images, and you'll see what we're looking at. They're just these massive swaths in the middle of the ocean it says 500 of them.
Also, you got to think, why don't the whales swim the opposite way? Why is it always toward the shore if they're getting beached? Is it just warmer?
Say that again?
So you know how like the whales are like they're getting beached? Mm-hmm. So you guys are saying the sonar, the sound is killing them, and then they just get washed up?
And they just float to shore. Yeah.
I don't know if the
Tide
sound's
rhythm.
killing them. I think the sound's driving them in a direction.
So that's the thing. Why isn't it? Okay, so maybe it's pointing because I was saying, why doesn't it drive them the opposite
I
direction?
mean, it might.
Or
drive
just
some
does the
opposite
current just
direction.
bring them
I don't
in?
know. I have no idea.
So what do they run a massive electrical wire or like a pipe with wires in it all the way to shore
Yeah.
from miles and miles out?
Yeah,
That's
we
so
actually
crazy.
down in Salem County or Cumberland County, one of the two. There's going to be the first New Jersey wind port. They're calling it,
Wow.
and I believe there's there's lines that are going to go up other places in the coast too.
If you work on a wind turbine field or a farm that does this kind of stuff and you're listening to this right now, or you know someone who does this, can you please tell them to hit us up? I have so many questions. I think this is such an interesting job to have.
I think it's some of the coolest engineering because you have to think they're drilling way under the ocean.
Yep.
They're setting these massive steel-looking pillars into those holes, and they're building it in the middle. Can you imagine? First off, I'm guessing you go out for months at a time to build them, right? It has to be something like that. You don't.
Well, it depends.
I think go back and forth.
How many miles offshore are we talking?
Not very far.
It looks
miles.
like it's.
You could come back within like 20
Nah,
minutes.
dude. It looks like it's probably 15 miles offshore, which I guess still isn't very far, but.
You can get back in like an hour.
You really think you're going to take a boat out every morning and build wind turbines
Yeah.
for?
Yeah, 15 miles off Atlantic City.
So what? That's like 30 minutes.
Yeah, it's not that far.
I guess you guys are right. That makes sense.
And it sounds like these things are going to start generating power in 2028.
That's a long time. Lot of whales to bother. In the meantime,
Hopefully, the good thing about technology is it doesn't evolve very quickly. So hopefully in, 5 more years, the technology's all pretty consistent.
Jimmy, are you able to see these when you're on the beach at Atlantic City?
No,
or
I don't think you're able to see out that far.
Yeah, I don't know how far.
Well, think about the horizon line. They must have gone just far enough that it's not.
Yeah,
Can you
just to
imagine?
not bother people with their views.
Oh, that would be so funny.
Generally, you can see 2.8 miles from shore.
Wow, that's it?
Yeah.
Yeah, our eyes are weak.
Man, I really have been deceived my whole life. All this time. But that doesn't make sense because even Cape May, you could see Delaware. And that has to be, that gap, maybe it is only a couple miles.
Yeah, I think that's pretty close down there.
All right, well, let's move on. We're taking a lot of time on this whale story. We'll find out more shortly.
Save
I'm
the whales. Save the whales.
In Hackensack, New Jersey, an auxiliary police officer slashed the tires of 2 state troopers after they got involved with his investigation.
I think he's former. He's no longer an active cop.
He was.
We have to mention
a former Wallington special police officer, which
a special police officer.
a special police officer based on Google is the same as an auxiliary police officer. Which, for those of you that don't know, it's kind of like Dwight in The Office.
Yeah.
That's literally what I thought of when I thought of the story.
Volunteer sheriff's department.
Yeah, you're like a volunteer sheriff's deputy. So a former Wallington special police officer pretended to be an active duty cop on Route 80 crash site on New Year's Day and later slashed the tires of a state police vehicle, officers say. Kenneth David Delgado, 53 of Wallington, pulled up to a crash in Hackensack around 11:30 p.m. January 1st looking for like a real officer, complete with a badge, body camera, and work ID.
Impressive.
So basically, he shows up to this accident, which I don't even know how he responded to the accident.
With the scanner, you could probably hear that stuff.
Maybe,
right?
yeah, he probably had a scanner.
Just like Dwight.
This is where it gets interesting. Delgado then went to Hackensack University Medical Center, where the injured woman was taken. Hospital security video captured Delgado getting a medical mask and going to the SUV being used by the troopers who were investigating the crash, according to Goaz. He punctured 2 of the tires and left. So he goes to the hospital with this lady after he shows up to the scene of the crime. And these state troopers show up to investigate. And he goes out and he slashes their tires and leaves.
So he was pretending to be a cop the whole entire time. And then once the real cops showed up, he put his mask on and he slashed their tires and dipped.
He's probably like,
What's his goal?
That's what I said. He was like, this is my investigation. I don't want these guys messing it up.
What did this department do to him that he was a former cop? You think just he had some he wanted to take vengeance upon them?
Maybe him and the troopers had some words. Maybe they were like, all right, guy, we got it from here. And he was like, these real cops always coming after me.
But he's not even a current cop. He's a former cop. That's the thing. He's pretending to be a current active duty cop.
Brother, when it's in your blood, it's in your blood.
You just never. That was the most real thing you said this whole time. Yeah, I guess
Listen, man,
it's never over,
it's
right?
like-
The fight's never done.
It's like if you say to someone like, hey, weren't you a Marine? They're like, I am a Marine. I'm always a Marine. Like, dude, you've been retired for 30 years. I'm a Marine, son. It's like, all right, sir.
I'm sorry.
I didn't mean to disrespect you.
No, for real, dude.
All right, so
But he slashed their tires, so they definitely did something bad to him, and he was pissed off.
So Delgado surrendered to state police on Thursday and was charged with impersonating a law enforcement officer, interfering with an investigation, obstruction, criminal mischief, and weapons offenses, among other third and fourth degree counts. He was released from the Bergen County Jail by a processing judge. So this guy, he'll probably, I don't know, maybe he'll do some time here. Maybe he'll just get some tickets. Maybe they'll just revoke his badge. I don't know.
He's 53 too, so like, is that even? That's young still. Like, I feel like what's the retirement age for a cop?
Well, it depends. You have to do 25 years, I
Yeah.
think. Or 20,
okay.
20,
Okay, so he might have been retired. I don't know his story.
but I don't know how that works for special police officers.
I was thinking like an old guy, like 53 is like kind of young still. Like this guy still's got it. Like he still has it.
What is it about a police scanner that's so much fun? Like, I want one in my truck just to listen to what's going on.
I listen to Broadcastify, like the free one
Yeah,
on the
yep.
internet, but like I kind of want a real one too, just to hear. I love following. Like me and Jimmy used to drive around, like and just listen and just try to find like where the accidents and where
Yeah.
all the crime was. It was so much fun.
Do you guys remember that app, Citizen?
Yeah.
Is that still a thing?
Yeah.
I think so. I think it's a big thing in New York.
Yeah, when I was in New York, like all my coworkers had it. They always followed.
I wish
it.
it'd spread out to here because that was such a good idea for an app. For those listening, Citizen is basically a social media app. It's a map, and you can report crime, and then people contribute videos and comments to the breaking crime. So, like, if you download the app and look at New York City, it's like live news on everything, like a stabbing or like someone got arrested for jumping a subway turnstile. It's really, really interesting. But
I remember like one day it was like we were about to all leave work when I was in the city, and like one of the girls opened up her Citizen app because she got a notification. It was like there was a stabbing at like the Chipotle like a block away from us,
Wow.
and we're like, what? And like I was leaving work, and you see like the cops still there, and
Yeah.
like it's wild. It's a really cool concept for an app, especially if like you're walking alone in the city and you don't feel comfortable, you don't know what's going on. I don't know.
I also think it can make you a paranoid mess because
That too.
how much of this, the news in general is too much for our brains, but how much really do you really want to know about the crime happening in your area? You kind of want to know, but if you want to know every little detail, you're going to be overwhelmed by how sick the world
Yeah,
is.
it's fun. Like you're watching a TV show and you just want to be entertained for a little bit. Then you stop watching the show and you go on with the rest of your day. It's kind of like that. It's like you want to be entertained for like half an hour and then like, let me get out of here and like not pay attention to this anymore. Let me do something else.
Well, we report 6, 7, 8 stories a week. Imagine a day in New Jersey, how many violent altercations happen, how many attempted car thefts. Like this stuff happens all the time.
Yeah.
And if you knew nonstop that it was happening, you might feel a lot less safe. I think there's a thin layer of feeling like you're safe when you're really not in all of our minds. But also, you are, I think, pretty safe at the same time.
Yeah. Like what are the odds that I walk out of your house today to go back home and I get stabbed? Like
1 in 3.
1 in 3.
Me, Jimmy, and my upstairs neighbor.
Oh,
No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I think it's probably pretty
it's
low.
it's super low. That's the thing. It's just like, that's why I'm never like paranoid because I feel pretty comfortable and also I know where I am. I'm not in
Yeah.
a bad area. Like if I was in a bad area, then I'd be like, okay, let me watch my back a little bit.
But think about how little crime it takes to ruin the feeling of safety for everybody. Like the New York City subway slasher. I think there were like 2 people that got their faces slashed a few summers ago. And then suddenly you have millions of people taking the subway and nobody feels safe.
Yeah.
All because of 2 situations. Now imagine if you every day knew about 15 of those happening in the city. You would literally, I mean, New York has a lot of crime. I think you might never feel safe again.
Isn't it like illegal to carry a knife too on you in New York?
Yeah, I think
Or like a pocket knife? Is a pocket knife allowed?
I think
No, I don't think so, not in
I
New
don't
York.
think at all. Maybe a blade under an inch is allowed. There's some.
That's what they say, like pepper spray, right? That's your answer in New York City for a girl.
I don't know.
When Shelby was living in the city, did you like tell her to carry spray or anything
she
like
had a knife and spray, I think.
that? Oh, nice.
She stayed strapped. Yeah.
Nice.
All right, last story of the night. A driver who was rear-ended by a New Jersey Transit bus has settled for $1.7 million.
Wow.
That's a lot of money.
That's some cheddar. That's a lot of bus tickets.
Tell me about this story, Josh. I'm a little interested here.
A driver whose car was rear-ended by a commuter bus after he stopped for a flat on a Route 3 bridge in East Rutherford reportedly settled a lawsuit against New Jersey Transit for $1.7 million. Renator pastor then 21 of Bloomfield, was headed west when he got a flat, switched on his emergency flashers, and pulled onto a partial shoulder on September 16th, 2019. Soon after, a westbound New Jersey Transit bus slammed into his vehicle from behind at an estimated 40 miles an hour.
That's terrifying.
Jeez.
That's fast.
Pastor, who was still sitting in the driver's seat, was taken to Hackensack University, the same hospital as before, medical center with multiple cervical and thoracic fractures, authorities said. 2 surgeries and extensive physical therapy were necessary. His lawyer,
Oh my
Adam
God.
Epstein. So I'm assuming a lot of that 1.7 is going to go towards medical bills.
Oh, yeah, all those bills, 100%.
But also, what I don't get is the partial shoulder. So was he like, there's some shoulders that cover half your car if you pull over?
Yeah.
That's a partial shoulder, right?
I'm assuming.
So should he have slowly driven with his hazards on off the highway, do you think?
Well, the fact that they're paying him the 1.7 mil sounds like they're in the wrong and they just want to clear this up. So I'm not sure. Maybe he couldn't drive anymore. Maybe it was so bad that he couldn't even get his car even further. And that was his
blowout.
only option. Yeah, exactly.
I've seen that happen before.
But think about the bus driver. Like, you on your phone? How do you just rear end this guy who's just pulled over? You couldn't get out of the way? Like, I wonder what the bus driver's defense was.
Route 3 is crazy. I don't know.
Are these bus drivers on their phones? Like, what are you doing not to pay attention?
I don't think so.
I know, but this guy rear-ended a parked car.
Is there a Nissan dealership on Route 3? I can't see Route 3 without seeing Nissan. There has to be. We're going to give them some free advertising right here. Is there a Route 3 Nissan? There has to be.
Route 46 Nissan, Route 17 Nissan.
Maybe I'm just totally off. I see
Hudson
Route 3 and I think
Nissan.
of like, what is there? I don't know what it is. It's just ingrained.
Route
Which one's
33
Route
Nissan.
3?
Route 3 is the one up by that goes through like so 46 turns into 3 and 3 runs east all the way basically to it turns into 495 by the Lincoln Tunnel. Is that 495 or 395, whatever that is?
495.
If you leave the Lincoln Tunnel
Yeah.
and you just you keep going west instead of turning, you turn to get on the turnpike.
Yeah.
You stay to the right there. That
Oh,
becomes Route
that's-
3 and
okay.
that eventually becomes Route 46.
So is Route 3 the one that goes past the Meadowlands or no?
Yes.
That's what I'm thinking, right?
Wait. Yeah, I think so.
Okay, wait.
I think it goes past the Meadowlands.
Yeah, Meadowlands. Yeah, Route 3. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yep.
Because they had that giant water main break last week and they shut down the whole highway.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was a mess.
Would have loved to be on a bus then, but so he gets 1.7 million, and
Good
it
for that
sounds
guy.
like he had a lot of medical issues. 40 miles an hour from a bus. That's
Bro, that whiplash. That's why,
crazy.
dude, look how messed up he got. But hopefully he's doing better now with his
Yeah.
1.7 mil. Hopefully after all the bills, he still has some money to spend. And, bro,
yeah.
he got the bag, dude. That's great.
Yeah. And with that was our last story of the night. Thank you to everybody so much for tuning in. Any closing thoughts, gentlemen, before we close up shop?
I'm just saying, I was thinking about it earlier. You guys say, it's been above average, the temperatures. It's been warm. We're not getting any snow. Hopefully, I really want snow, but worst case scenario, if we don't get snow, hopefully we can get maybe some 65 degree weather, 70 degree weather in February for the polar plunge.
I wouldn't mind that.
Imagine it's 65 and we're plunging. It'll still be freezing, but hey,
Yeah.
it'd be nice. And we're not freezing when we come out of the water.
It'd be more of a grizzly plunge.
Watch, it's going to be 10 degrees that week. Imagine.
I don't even want to think about it.
But when you do it with a bunch of people together running into the ocean, Jimmy, there's something about the warmth of being around everyone.
It's going to be fun. We'll have a good time.
Josh is like, you guys are going to have a great time while I'm over here with my wife having a baby.
Nah, the baby's not coming that early, so I'll be there with you guys.
It's going to be great.
I'm
We
excited
should bring
for
a
it.
grill, I was thinking today.
If we're allowed to, that would be awesome.
Well, we're not going to be able to park at the beach. We're going to have to find parking elsewhere.
Oh, so you're saying grilling,
Yeah, let's find a parking lot, bring a little grill, do some burgers and dogs for lunch.
I think it'd be awesome. And we've been talking about a Garden State meetup for a while.
Yep.
So hey, even if you don't want to plunge, come and just hang out with us, say what's up. Links in our bio for all the details, the addresses and everything. I know it's in Seaside Heights. I just forgot exactly where it is. But come support, laugh with us, plunge with us. It's going to be a great time. Links in the bio. I'm stoked. I'm really stoked, guys.
Me too. And with that,
That was such an awkward pause.
thank you everybody so much.
Jimmy's staring at me.
Looking at
I was
you.
waiting for you to say something.
So in the fourth grade, I was walking behind Valley Road Mascot.
Oh my goodness.
Jimmy, say the line.
Please, Jimmy,
Say the line.
Jimmy,
say the line.
The people want to hear it
yeah,
so
yeah.
bad.
Can you say it, please?
So I was walking with Jimmy
No,
Deets.
say normal. Say normal.
Oh, so I was walking with Jimmy Deets behind the Valley Road School, hiking in the woods.
It's amazing.
I don't know.
We
Absolutely
got to put that on a
incredible.
T-shirt. Well, with that,
Wait, one more thing
Yeah.
before we end.
with that-
and with that, we're gonna put down our shirt. And with that, what's the next season of sayings?
I'm going to evolve. Don't worry.
So last week we touched on cruise control a little bit. This week I set a homework assignment for myself to use cruise control on 2 long drives. It's an interesting feeling.
Once you get used to it, you will never go back.
No, you do go back.
You know, so I was
I
driving.
tried it. It doesn't work.
I was driving down Turnpike, exit 11 to exit 4. I was the same distance from this guy the whole way down. He
Yep.
must have been on cruise control too. Crazy.
And you know how much gas you probably saved because you're not accelerating and slowing up
Yeah,
and going
I'm
fast.
sure.
It's great for your engine, great for the car. And you know what? You get to just snooze a little bit. I usually take a nap.
You guys are lazy. All right.
Hey,
That's
I
all
don't
I'm gonna
normally
say.
do it. I don't normally do it.
Yeah. I don't know.
Josh is the guy when you're in the left lane. He rides you. He's like, get out of my way.
Because everyone knows the rules. Get out of the left lane if you're not going to go the speed. But apparently, most people can't follow those rules here.
What's the speed for the Garden State Parkway left lane?
85.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about.
Off the record.
All right. Well, with that, thank you all. Is that the thing I said? With that?
Yeah, you've been saying with that.
With that.
Yeah.
Okay. I
And-
gotta work on that. And in closing.
I think it's the and.
In closing.
Okay, I'll
Now,
try.
if you're
I'll,
like,
I'll try a new one.
You could be
Hold
like,
on.
okay, guys.
Well,
Just doesn't work.
thanks for listening, everybody. We'll catch you next Friday. Have an amazing week. Bye.
Bye.
Later.
You're listening to the Garden State. The Dirty Jers.